Yes, yes, please. Yes, please. We have already sent everyone the instruction while after joining this meeting, you have to be in the mute mode so that there will not be any issue in streaming. And the right of mute is with the host, Professor Barbaros. And because too many participants are going to join, so if you have to communicate, you can communicate with the chat box to the Professor Barbaros. We will time to time check the chat box, and if you have to raise some question or some clarification something, then we will come to you, reach you. Barbaros will allow to speak for some time, but because participants are in large number, we have to decide. uh, Basically, you just mute your all notifications so that you will not get any disturbance while going through this meeting. Thank you very much. And we have already we are broadcasting on YouTube channel also. So if your colleagues are interested to see our virtual assembly meeting, they can join us on YouTube link, which we have already shared. Thank you very much.
Now, we still have 6 minutes for technical information. So you have any technical questions, please ask. Pankaj, so if
Yes.
somebody wants to speak something, can they unmute themselves, or do they ask you to unmute?
No, we have the host is having the right to mute or unmute anytime. So basically, generally everyone unmute uh, whenever we join. When we have to go for a speaking, we unmute them. Otherwise, we generally remain in mute mode. And when one thing better to communicate with the chat box so that it will be easy for us. And but whosoever has joined, they can write their name in the chat box so that we can prepare attendance list. That the person maybe because the joining person is joining with the system name, so a few people will not have the name displayed, or maybe they are joining with their email ID. So it will be better to write into the chat box their name that they have joined us. And we have already sent you the one of the PDF document where the instructions are listed, so you can check there. And if we have also, you have the facility also to uh, do chat with the YouTube link also. They have their chat box, so you can communicate us. And if you anyone having the connection issue, they can communicate to the host, Barbaros, Professor Barbaros. And we have already communicated the email ID and also his WhatsApp number or mobile number. Both the same mobile number is working on the WhatsApp also, so you can communicate him easily. We will be happy to assist you. Uh, Hope everything will go fine.
Okay, so who starts first? We still have a little bit of time.
Professor Singh is having some issue in joining, so I am just communicating him.
Okay.
No, I joined.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, this is a first experience for us to have this kind of meeting, and anything can happen. But I hope we can do all the things in time.
Yukio, may
Yeah.
I say two sentences about infrastructure?
Yeah, please.
Please, I noted the chat box, but please add your name on your screen. We understand who is who also, and please be careful your angle on the camera because broadcast is starting. YouTube broadcast is starting.
So YouTube has started already.
Yes, yes.
Barbara, so are you also recording the Zoom?
Yes,
itself?
yes. Also, it started.
It's already started. Okay.
Yeah. And time by time, we take a screenshot.
So how many people are there at the moment?
Now 63.
63. Good. And there are many more audience.
We have 72 registered participants and 2 more in the morning. I sent the invite. So we are expecting 74 people.
74. So another 11 people.
Okay.
Okay, so we have 1 minute more.
Şeye bir baksana, chat box'a bir bak. Orada bir isim düzeltmesi var. Dan için. We can start when you say Yukio.
Okay, so shall we start? So I announce the start of International Geographical Union Virtual General Assembly 2020. The date is 21st August 2020. Time, Greenwich Mean Time, 7:30 in the morning. And as everybody knows, this is an extraordinary situation which we have now because of COVID-19. It's a really serious situation and it will continue for a long time. But anyway, we are here to discuss about our important issues for 4 hours. And I hope that we can complete it in time, safely. And I ask you all your cooperation for that. And one thing we have to be careful is, as Dr. Kumar said, the voice. I'm now speaking, and when somebody is speaking, all the other microphones have to be muted. Otherwise, there will be big noise. But that's one of the things we have to be careful. But anyway, apart from that, although we have enormous difficulties of having the discussions, we also have a new sort of opportunity. New opportunity, nobody knows what it means fully, actually, but we gradually see what we can do with this new situation, with the new tools, which we may not have been very familiar with till recently. I myself started to use Zoom only this year. First, for the executive committee meetings. We are planning to have executive committee meeting in spring, but we couldn't have it because of COVID-19. Nobody could gather. We planned to have it in Istanbul, but we couldn't have it. But then we have the new opportunity now. I can see many participants in front of me, just like you seeing many faces. It's a new situation. And let's start this new way of life now in IGU2. And we don't know how long we have to, or we continue this. But anyway, this is becoming an important part of our life already. I'm talking from Hokkaido, Asahikawa City in Hokkaido, in Japan. The time here is 70 minutes to 5 p.m. So when we finish this meeting, it's 8:30 in Japan. But those people from the Americas, it's really bad time. I feel very sorry for that. But maybe next time we may take choose the better time for many people. But anyway, please be patient for this. To those from the unlucky time zones, sorry, but please be patient. And by accumulating that experiences, we can improve the way we handle the matter. And the time is really a real constraint. So I don't want to speak too much here because we may run into the shortage of time. So I want to proceed from now. This is my welcome as a president to all the participants. But I want to go to the next stage to save time. Roll call. You all have the program today, yes? So our Secretary General, RB, please.
Barbaros, may I have the file? Roll call file.
Which one?
There is a list of the countries, participating in the meeting.
I see.
Go below.
Okay.
Yeah, this one. Chair Representative of National Committee.
Mhm.
So, welcome colleagues. On behalf of International Geographical, I would like to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to all of you, particularly our IGUEC member, Chair and Representative of National Committee, Chair and Representative of the different commission and task forces. Just we'll have a roll call for the National Committee representative. So Namibia, just you raise your hand or just you tell yes.
Good morning. Namibia is here.
Thank you. Poland, Professor Degorowski.
Hello, I'm here. Good morning, everybody.
Okay, thank you. From Turkey, our colleague Ahmed, Dr. Professor Ahmed.
Has to be mute.
I saw him, but unmute, yes.
Okay. From China, Dr. Professor Pao Chen.
Yes, here.
Okay, welcome, sir. Serbia. Professor Jelena. Professor Jelena. Dr. Pankaj, keep record.
Bu listedeki kişileri
Dr.
kontrol ettin mi?
Pankaj,
Yes, yes,
are you noting those who are not here?
yes, yes, please. I'm doing my work.
Okay. Croatia.
I'm here. I represent Russia today.
Okay, thank you. From Russia, Professor Vladimir is here. He is representing Professor Kotlekov. Professor Jolton from Hungary. Venezuela. Bangladesh. Professor Nurul Iswan.
He's here. I saw him.
Israel,
He was
Professor
here.
Michael Sofar.
Good morning
Professor
to one.
Sofar is here.
Yes, I'm here. Good
Yes,
morning
from
to one.
Israel.
Yes.
Professor Lai from Vietnam.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah. Hi, in
Okay,
Vietnamese now is afternoon.
Okay, thank you. Slovenia. Estonia. Professor Michael Kangur.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, sir. Romania. Professor Dan.
He's here. Actually, he sent it in the chat box.
Okay. China, Hong Kong, Professor Su.
Here.
He's here.
Is here?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm here. Yes.
Okay. Australia. Graciela.
She's an apology. She's unwell tonight.
Korea, Professor Jung.
Here, I mean,
Okay. South Africa. Professor Mr. Roger.
Arbi, Brij Maharaj from South Africa is trying to get in. I think he is with us, but he was on the YouTube channel. I've just sent him the link.
Okay, so he's here. We can record. Finland, Professor Jarko.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Professor Maria from Ecuador.
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Okay, welcome. UK, Dr. Catherine Swatch.
Good morning. I'm here from London.
Welcome. Dr. Peter Jordan from Austria. Belgium.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, welcome, sir. And then we have from Russia, Professor Vladimir is representing. He's also our past president. So these are the people. Apart from that, we have representative of the different associations, society, corporate houses. Then also the our representative from the different chair of the IGU Commission and task forces. So welcome you all, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So next.
Is it okay? So nobody's missing and we can go forward.
I'm wondering why I'm not on the list, Germany.
Oh.
Professor Beno is, yeah, I don't know why not listed.
In the morning, I sent him invite the details, so I could not incorporate.
Sorry, Beno, you are already here, so we'll include.
Okay.
Are there any more people who are missing or?
Mike
Is it
Roche,
okay?
I'm here from New Zealand in the evening.
So from New Zealand, we have representative from New Zealand. Thank you, sir. Welcome.
No more? Okay,
It's,
so how
it's
many?
Malte Helfer from Luxembourg.
Luxembourg.
Okay, welcome, sir. Luxembourg.
Are there anybody still missing or is it okay? So how many are present now? The chairs and representatives.
67.
We have 67, 66.
After counting, we will give in the chat box.
Okay.
Kaç tane ulusal temsilci var sadece o aralardakilerden? Ama oraya iki kişiler falan da
Shall we go forward? Okay. Adoption of the agenda. So, Barbaros, can you show?
The agenda?
Yeah.
Yes. Here.
Yes, I think this is the one which was sent to you all. And it says agenda tentative. And if it is approved, the tentative will be removed. Everybody agrees with it?
Yes.
Okay. If anybody have something to say, just shout. Otherwise, we go forward. Okay, thank you. So I understand that it is approved, adopted. So next, announcement of election results. Barbara, yes, you can see the result, which was sent to the National Committee chairs. In early July, was it? It was, I think, 2nd or 3rd of July. It's sent by email. And this is the email sent from the Secretary General, Professor Singh. Dear IGU colleagues, I'm pleased to announce the results of the IGU election completed recently. Total countries voted for 2020 election is 49. President, Professor Mike Meadows, South Africa, 49 votes out of 49 elected. Vice President, 4 posts, Professor Nathalie Lemochan, France, 41 votes out of 49 elected. Professor Holly Bacchus, United States, 38 out of 49 elected. Professor Barbara Gonesgio, Turkey, 35 out of 49 elected. Professor Celine Rosenblatt, Switzerland, 35 out of 49 elected. Professor Mike Elliott, unfortunately, was not elected this time. And next is the 36th International Geographical Congress, 2028. 48 out of 49. So it was confirmed. All of the people, candidates elected, and the IGC confirmed. Congratulations. So this is the official announcement. So it is recorded in the minutes. Okay, so this is not the matter of adoption. It is the report, and it was confirmed. It was adopted actually by e-ballot, and it was confirmed already. Okay, so we go to the next announcement of approval of the minutes of the 2016 IGU General Assembly in Beijing, China. Barbara, can you share it? It was already sent to you all, so I believe you all read. And it's the the minutes of the General Assembly 4 years ago. And just Barbara, scroll slowly. And yeah, scroll slowly, please. If you notice anything, please send, please write chat.
Yes, this is the end.
As you see, it's quite long minutes, because in the General Assembly, usually there are a lot of issues to discuss. And this year in Istanbul, we plan to have 3 days of General Assemblies. And it's quite a long time we were expected to spend. But because of the Zoom meeting, it was not possible. And some of the issues, for example, the financial issues, will be dealt with next year. In Istanbul, we are going to have the postponed IGC in Istanbul. And in that meeting, we have General Assembly. And financial reports and approval will be done there, because it's impossible to do by Zoom or e-ballot. We have to discuss and we have to check the detail. So it's postponed to next year. So did you write anything in chat? I can't check it frequently. So if you notice, Barbaros, did you notice any chat? So
I'm seeing, but I couldn't see any question yet. Nyam, she's here from Dublin.
I think it might be better to send us the minutes before the meeting, so everyone have a chance to read the documents before we can make any comments. Because if you wrote down, actually it's very hard for us to read the document carefully. So it's better to read the minutes before the meeting. Less time, perhaps.
I think it's sent by Pankaj to all participants. We have to ask again to Pankaj. He sent all documents to all participants.
yeah, most of the documents actually shown on the screen today were sent already to the participants.
If
So
that is case, sorry.
Yeah, if there isn't any questions or comments anymore, I want to conclude this. So the minutes of the Beijing IGC has been approved. Okay. Okay, thank you. We go next. Approval of new national member countries. Albie?
你回来了是吗？那行。那
Albie?
行，那我等你们。好，哎，拜拜。
Can you hear?
Hello?
Albie? Yeah.
Yeah. So, dear colleague, we have two applications from Colombia and Dominican Republic. So I would like to submit that in case of Dominican Republic, we have examined and we can give full membership if General Assembly approve. In place of Colombia, still we are working with them because there are various institutes. So probably General Assembly approved, we can give the associate membership at present. I would like to invite my colleague Ruben to elaborate more in this contest.
Arbi, please, can you shut down your YouTube channel?
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. This process of the new members is a permanent process in the IGU from growth the member states and the full members. Last year, we incorporate Namibia, present in this meeting, and made the possibilities of incorporation of the South Pacific microstates from negotiation from Elena Belañese, the Vice President. And in this General Assembly, we proposed two new incorporation. One is the Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic is the new national committee in relation with the Dominican Geographers Association, with contacts in the university and the professional geographical world. The representative is Jonkers Garcés, the new president in the future of National Committee and the Dominican Geographers Republic. And in Colombia is a provisional proposal of status of associated member, because we had a strong proposition of renewal from the universities, but we need a few months or few weeks to introduce a negotiation with the National Geographical Institute with Agustin Codazzi. We recommend associated status for a full member in the short future between institute and especially the universities of Colombia. This is important to growth of presence of IGU in Latin America, improve a lot in this last period. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Barbaros, can you show the document of Dominica?
Yep. So I can. Just a second, please.
5.2.
Yes, here. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, please scroll slowly.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is English version. This is English version. Finished.
Okay, thank you. And it was also sent to the participants. And if you have any comments or questions, please send the chat. The executive committee sees this application very well written and quite exciting. And the executive committee is very happy to receive this application. And we recommend the General Assembly to approve it. But of course, it is you, the representatives, who decide. If there is no comments, questions, I should say it is approved. I mean, in the case of Dominica, full membership, national membership to Dominica. Okay. So I think it's unanimously approved. If there is anybody who say no, please just write it to the chat. Okay, thank you very much. In the case of Colombia, the situation is, as was explained, it's a little bit complicated. So the executive committee thinks that some time is necessary inside Colombia to negotiate. So in order to give that chance, we executive committee thought that the associate membership for the time being is appropriate. Shouldn't be too long. We hope that the negotiation is done in a short time. But at the moment, the associate membership will be appropriate. If there is any objection, please write in the chat. So everybody agrees to the proposal of the executive committee. If there is any no, please raise your hand or write chat. Oh, there is a hand. Michael, so far? Yeah, is this yes? Yes hand.
Yeah, that was a yes, actually, not no.
Okay. Sorry for misunderstanding. Okay, so it has been approved. Thank you very much. And I have to say a few words about this national membership. There are countries which have difficulties from time to time to pay the dues or have difficulty to continue normally their relation with IGU. So IGU Executive Committee is, in that sense, quite patient to wait for the national committees to do the duty, but sometimes it's not difficult. It is not easy. And in some cases, there are the groups of geographers in the country which wish to renew the membership of the country. That is a little bit a complicated case, and IGU Executive Committee doesn't want to be involved in that dialogue too much. But of course, it's a dialogue inside the country is necessary, and we do hope that the negotiations, discussions in the country go smoothly, and they decide on the single country representative national committee. But if there are those problems, the one executive committee member is responsible for one country, usually more than several countries, but each country has the liaison officer, national executive committee member. So maybe it's good to talk to the if there are any problems, please talk to the liaison officer. You can check it on a website who are responsible, or if you can't find, you just write to Secretary General or President or any executive committee members, they can answer. In that way, I hope we IGU community keep good national representations, and let's work together for that. That's my message. Are there any questions or comments on this issue? There seems to be no chat on this matter, so I assume that it's okay. So shall we go next? Now it's approval of commissions, task forces, chairs, and task forces, chairs, steering committees. Now it's first Vice President yours. Is yours there?
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Commissions and task forces forms the fundament of the International Geographical Union that brings the geography as a discipline further globally. And the reports with the future plans that were sent by all commissions except one were all informative and promising with respect to new activities and projects and publications and other activities, several of them related to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we were very pleased by the future plans that were sent by the commissions. Unfortunately, there is one report still missing, that of the modeling commissions, but all the other commissions sent their reports with the future plans. And in our opinion, can be approved for renewal or renewal under condition. I had the privilege to chair during the past 8 years the Commission Excellence Award subcommittee of the EC. And after reading the annual reports, I was always deeply impressed by the activity level and the quality of the geography that was represented by the commissions. This year, it was the Commission on Biogeography and Biodiversity that was awarded with the Commission Excellence Award, and my congratulations for that commission. Continuity and renewal is important for the commissions, and that is the reason why we check the steering committees very carefully. In fact, I'm the bureaucratic person that do the check. And that means that in some cases, there are things that should be settled in the near future for some commissions. The steering committee members that are in their 4th term, that is not in line with the statutes of the IGU. We try to have representation globally, in particular representations from the global south, low-income countries, and we give priority to some kind of gender balance in the steering committees. And double memberships is not in line with the statutes of the IGU. So some commissions will get informed or are already informed about some changes that should be made in the steering committee of some commissions. But we are in general very, very pleased with the reports on the future plans of our commissions and task forces. So thank you very much for doing this. My proposal is that we, Barbaros, maybe you can show the list for renewal of the commissions. And our proposal is to renew the commissions with one pending because the future plans report is still missing. No, not this one, the Word document with renewal.
It's not here.
It's not here, okay.
It's not in this file.
Yeah. Our proposal is to renew all the commissions and only with one commission pending because they did not send the future plans and the proposed steering committee yet. That is the modeling commission.
Okay, RB, do you have anything to add? RB, can you hear? Or there may be some problem of the communication. Okay, are there any questions, comments on this issue? RB, can you hear? Okay, so that happens from time to time in India, and hope he can come back soon. But anyway, are there any chats?
Yukio, please
Yeah.
be careful about your camera. We see all half your,
my face disappears.
Yeah.
Because I put my camera on the computer. So
when you close the camera, your face goes down a little and a half like that. Yeah, yes, a little bit.
Yes.
Yes. No.
Now it's okay. Sorry. Okay, so are there any chats? I can't check chat frequently. And Barbara, did you notice any chats or nothing?
I check this time to time, but there is no any question. Congratulations for the Dominican Republics I saw in the chat. But yeah.
Okay, so no questions, no objections. Okay, so maybe RB.
Yes, there's one chat that is important to notice at this moment. A chat from Mike Meadows that the Modeling Commission has plans to be renewed and to continue, but that they are in search of a new chair. And until that problem is solved, I propose to make their renewal pending, and we can decide about renewal by e-ballot as soon as they have new chair.
So no other comments or questions? If not, we go forward.
I think better to keep pending.
Oh, you appear.
Because we have already similar type of concern. Like geographic information system, same. It is not better to wait. Not go in hurry guiding.
RB, can you hear me? We can't hear you properly. Too much interruption.
There is some sentences in the chat box. I have to say it to you.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Hello. Oh, is it okay now?
Yes. So only one not submitted reports we'll discuss in the next EC meeting. I think no need to go in hurry. We have several, good commissions, similar type of commission. They are doing the same type of work.
So I wonder if the Barbara can show the table which shows which one. What's the
I
problem?
can
Maybe
show
the summary table.
Yeah.
Barbaros, I can show that summary table. Okay.
I couldn't hear clearly.
Pankaj says that he can do it.
Not to do.
Bandwidth is low.
Bunu kim nasıl yaptı böyle? Abi.
Barbaros, you could hear Pankaj.
I couldn't hear now. It's changed the
Please,
screen.
please
Yes.
please
Yes.
enable my screens here.
Now I hear you. Okay. Now.
He wants to share screen.
Okay. We can continue to. I'm going to ask you. Yes, he can start it. Pankaj, you can start it.
Yes, yes. Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yes.
Is the document?
Yeah. Thanks. As you might see, most of the commissions have as action renewed. Applied geography must be changed and renewed because they recently sent their report. The same applied for cultural approach in geography, renewed. Coastal system, renewed. Could you scroll further down, Pankaj?
Yes.
And further down. Globality is renewed. Islands, karst, land degradation, desertification. Population, rural systems, transport. So all commissions except modeling can be renewed, although a few commissions should made some changes in their steering committee because people are too long member of a steering committee in the 4th term, or people are coming from, 2 people are coming from the same country, which is not in line with the statutes of IGU.
Okay, so any questions or comments anymore?
Can I ask some questions? Here.
Okay.
I would like to know, do we need to pay some money to join this committee? Because I know in some other organization and the people have to pay to join this commission. And the money collected might be very essential for the operation of those committees. So I would like to know the practice of IGU's committee.
Yeah. No, there is no payment required for membership of the commissions. And the financial basis for the commissions is either a contribution from the executive committee from $1,500 US dollar per year, if they have money necessary for their activities, or they might raise their own funding, but not and funding by the contribution by members. So membership is free.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, so shall we approve the proposal of the executive committee? Okay. If there is any objection, please send the chat or speak. Okay, thank you. I assume that there is no objection. So the proposal for the executive committee has been approved. Okay, shall we go to next? Now, report for the president on the period 2016 to 2020. Okay. Barbara, can you prepare the PowerPoint?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. I am given 30 minutes for this report. And this report is intended to be outlining what the IGU has been doing in the last 4 years. But there are so many activities IGU have been doing with many commissions and task forces. The outline has to be only very simple. I want to make it as simple as possible so that you can have overview of what IGU intend to do and what IGU is doing and what IGU has to do. So the first slide shows the executive committee meetings. As you can see here, each year the executive committee has a meeting 2 or 3 times. Can you, Barbara, can you go next? Yes. Those photographs were taken from IGU e-newsletter. And this, you can have some idea of what sort of things we're doing in executive committee meetings. The photograph on top left is a scene of signing of memorandum of understanding agreement for Paris 2022 extraordinary Congress. So Vice President Nathalie Lemochan is here as the co-chair of the organizing committee of this extraordinary Congress. And then to the right, you have the photograph taken in Istanbul, in Istanbul University, where we are supposed to have the IGC now, actually. But because of the COVID-19, it was postponed to next year. But anyway, you can see the sort of atmosphere we have in Istanbul. Very comfortable environment, I should say. And then on the bottom, there is a photograph from Dublin City University, which is going to be the venue of 2028 IGC in Dublin. And the persons involved in the organizing of the Congress, you see to the right. And to the left, there are executive committee members. This was taken on in front of the university. It's a modern, very convenient university, very good environment indeed. That's from 2019. Okay, next, please. Barbara?
Yeah, this is next.
Yeah, I had to talk a little bit about General Assembly, which we are having now. Of course, this is a first experience for us to do that online, not on the spot. The statute of IGU says, General Assembly shall hold an ordinary meeting normally about once every 4 years, wherever possible at the time and the place of an international geographical congress. The date and place of the meeting shall be determined by the General Assembly at its previous meeting, or if not so determined, arranged by the Executive Committee. So this is a situation we have now. The Executive Committee with the local organizing committee of Istanbul decided to postpone the General Assembly together with the International Geographical Congress together. At the same time, the Executive Committee decided to do e-ballot in order to reduce the burden of the on-site meeting next year. And also, virtual meeting this year, sorry. Because the virtual meeting is, it is in a way convenient, but it is at least very inconvenient when we discuss intensively. It's not for that purpose. And most difficult to do, say, election or ballot. It is not easy to do online. So those things we considered, and we decided to postpone some of the agendas to next year. And some of the agendas were done by e-ballot. Say election was done, election of the new executive committee members, and also the venue for 2028 were done by e-ballot. So those things were done based on the statute, as you see now. So these are things which is written here. Next one, please. Next page. Yes, national membership. We just dealt with this agenda now, and again, this is related to the what is written in the statutes, and I think it's good to know what statute says about the membership. The IGU statutes allow for 4 categories of membership, namely full membership, paid dues regularly, and associate membership don't or have not paid fees, but are representatives of the National Geographical Association and regularly are regularly in contact with IGU. Corresponding member contact usually via email who is not formally a representative geographers in the country. And corporate membership. New full members since 2016 Beijing IGC include Samoa, China Macau, Kyrgyz Republic, and Namibia, while Vietnam was reactivated in 2018. Application for new full membership was received recently from Dominica, and application for renewal of full membership was received recently from Colombia. And they are tabled in the present General Assembly. This is a situation we had today. So I wrote detailed report is made by Secretary General and the Treasurer. It's done already. Next is 4 commissions and task forces. The IGU statutes say commission shall be established for the study of a specific problem or for the accomplishment of the task which requires international collaboration. Commission shall promote individual and group research work, encourage the exchange of relevant documents and information, and organize conferences, meetings, and, where appropriate, field excursions both between congresses and during international geographical congresses. Thus, commissions are regarded as the main locomotives for research and other activities in the IGU. And I want to emphasize the importance of statutes. In the last 4 years, the executive committee used statutes very frequently and more intensively than before, because we found that statute is very useful when we think of the activities or when we wonder what we should do. Very often we could find the answers or clues to the questions in the statutes. So I should say all the participants here, including those on YouTube, please look at IGU statutes and you'll find it very useful. Next, please. Barbaros. Now about conferences. Unfortunately, we don't have IGC, International Geographical Congress, this year. But in the last 4 years after the Beijing IGC, there were many international geographical meetings. And the biggest among them was the 2018 IGU Regional Conference at Quebec, Canada. The 2018 IGU Regional Conference was held in conjunction with the annual meetings of the Canadian Association of Geographers and the National Council for Geographic Education from August 6th to 10th, 2018 at the Quebec City Convention Center. And more than 1,300 participants gathered to exchange and discuss the latest research and teaching advance in geography. And as usual in regional conferences and the congresses, there was a Geography Olympiad. It was 15th International Geography Olympiad in Quebec City. Nearly 300 students, team leaders, and volunteers from 40 countries and 43 teams participated in this prestigious event. The IGO was an excellent opportunity to showcase the geographical skills and understandings of the world's best geography students, as well as the reward for student excellence. And this part of PowerPoint, which you are looking, was taken from the official report from the Quebec Regional Conference Organizing Committee. The detail is available in IGU e-newsletter number 28, issued in October 2018. You can see the detail with several photographs. Here, I want to draw your attention to IGU e-newsletter, which I believe most of you who are listening now know. There are a lot of information, useful information for you. So I strongly suggest you to read the newsletter regularly. 4 issues each year. The last one was issued in at the end of July this year, actually. And one thing I want to add about this Quebec Regional Conference is there was a chairs meeting. The chairs meeting was a meeting of commission chairs and national committee chairs, because General Assembly is held in the IGC, International Geographical Congress, not in a regional conference. But the executive committee thought that it is important to set this kind of meeting where both national committee representatives and commission representatives can gather. And I should add that This meeting, as well as ordinary IG General Assembly meetings, are open to anybody who participate in those congresses and conferences. It is written in a statute. Statute says that General Assembly should be open to all those people, not only the representatives of commissions or national committees. So it's a very good point of IGU. And the chair's meeting was a place indeed for this purpose. And as you can see in the photograph, there was one representative, I believe she's from Italy, and he stood up and then showed her views. And this sort of communication is quite vivid and useful. That is why today we have a fairly long time for this. We have discussion of IGU priorities, commission initiatives, etc. And so anybody who want to say something have a chance to speak within the range of the time limit. But anyway, this is open to anybody. Okay, the next is the International Geographical Istanbul, Turkey. About Istanbul IGC, our colleague Barbaros, who is also he's the vice president at the same time. He is the chair of the organizing committee of Istanbul IGC. He will speak later today about the postponed IGC, which takes place next year. Okay, next, please. Barbaros?
Yeah, this is next. Committee conferences.
Thematic conference, yes. Thematic conference, I think everybody knows now, but it was redefined in 2017 to be more specific. And it must be genuinely international, should have a clear theme or topic that is of broad interest, and should specifically involve at least 4 IGU commissions. The executive committee must approve each thematic conference, and the application should normally be made 12 to 18 months in advance. This is important, 12 to 18 months in advance. Okay. I don't think I have enough time to read them all, but please keep in mind that thematic conference is open to any countries, any commissions. If some commissions gather, they can propose a thematic conference. Very often, thematic conference is held with the national committees. It's quite useful. And so far, we had official thematic conferences, as you see here. There are several already. Unfortunately, the thematic conferences planned this year were postponed because of the COVID-19. Okay, next page, please. Now about relation with other organizations. By far, the most important relation for us IGU community is a relation with ISC, International Science Council. And this is the scene taken in 2017, where the merge of IGU and ICC. IGU is the International Council for Science, ICC, International Social Science Council. They merged in 2018. And you see the participants of the joint General Assembly of the two organizations. And then next year, in 2018, the two organizations were officially merged, and ISC was born. Next one, please. That meeting, as well as the 2018 Joint General Assembly, which is started ISC. IGU, from IGU, I as president participated it, and also Mike Meadows, then the Secretary General, the next IGU president, also participated, and Nathalie Lemochan, Vice President from France, also participated. And one of the things which emphasized, which I mean IGU emphasized, was the importance of education for scientists. And so we said it vocally, very vocally in the meetings. And the majority of the participants there supported it, actually. And that's a very good thing indeed. And with that support, IGU, I mean, geographers can do very important things, particularly, I should say, for the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and Future Earth, and ESD, Education for Sustainable Development. And this chart shows the relation with them, and also how they are related to International Social Science Council, International Science Council and the United Nations and UNESCO. The important thing is to strengthen, particularly the relationship between ESD, Futures, and the CGs. And I have been saying in many occasions that geographers can play very important roles to strengthen this triangle relations. Next one, please. Next, please. Yes, this is IGU newsletter, which I mentioned. It is edited by Professor Giuliano Berezza, as you see. He's a retired professor of University of Rome, and he was a vice president before. He's more than 80 years old, but still doing this editorial work. So those who want to receive it regularly from him directly, just write to him. Okay, next, please. I don't think I have much time left. And I have to be in a hurry, probably. In each e-newsletter, I write presidential remarks, which is at the beginning of the e-newsletter. And if we look at the e-newsletter, I summarize the important issues and also highlight the things which we think particularly important. And it's written, this remarks is written in English and also translated into French by Natalie, my colleague. I am very thankful to her. And if you read the remarks, I think you can have some idea of what we executive committee thinks important. Okay, next, please. Here, I just briefly want to mention the IGU honors and awards. It's this is part of this my remarks actually. It's written here about Laureate d'Honneur and Planet and Humanity Medal. Next, please. And so on. Barbaros?
Yes.
Please.
Go down.
Yes.
More.
Yes. Okay. So before long, no, you go too much. Before too long, you'll have the new information about awards and honors and awards, because executive committee has been thinking about establishing some new awards too. And we asked the new awards committee, honors and awards committee, to think about it. And I think before next General Assembly in Istanbul, we start the new awards too, in addition to Laureate d'Honneur and Humanity Medal. Okay, next, please. Next, please. Okay, so that's the remarks also had the information about today's meeting here. And next, please. Next. The last thing I want to mention, too much, one back. Back, please. Yes. The last thing I want to mention is, went too far, sorry.
More.
Go next.
Bir tane daha geriye.
You skipped.
Here.
No, next. Yeah, here. Please stop.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, last but not least, I said, I'd like to draw your attention to another online event entitled Engineering with Science Building Partnership for a Sustainable Future, which obviously corresponds to SDG 17. It is a panel discussion held in the International Schools Debates Forum organized annually by Trust for Sustainable Living, a global education trust centered in the UK. The whole event was held online for the first time because of COVID-19, but allowing more schools to participate by eliminating barriers such as high travel costs and visa restrictions, as well as reducing the carbon footprint of the event. It is notable that it is the International Science Council that nominated the IGU president to represent the scientific science community as a panelist for this discussion on education, science, and partnership. And you can see the discussion at this website. Now, I want to draw your attention to this. And the effort we, IGU, has been making for the promotion of education in science, IC has very strong interest in it and giving us opportunities to act. And this is one example. And there are so many hundreds of tens of thousands of people visit this site to see this event. So please do keep in mind, and please do look at the website, and I think you can get some ideas what we can do. Okay, next, please. Yeah, this is the last slide I prepared. This is a part of the the poster which IGU used 1-2 years ago. And it's a geography of the science for sustainability, it says. And this is a very important aspect of IGU. And I want to make it my first appeal to you here. Thank you for your attention. So I should have another, I have some more minutes. So maybe I can ask some questions here. Barbara, I still have some time, yes?
Check the agenda.
Yeah. Because I have Japanese time, so I have to be careful with should be until meantime 9:20, correct? But I started earlier, so maybe I had better finish earlier.
I'm going to show you the agenda here. If you...
Yeah. But I think I spoke more than 30 minutes, I suppose. Any comments or questions here? If not, we can have time later also, but there is a chat here to share this PowerPoint. Yeah, that's possible. And let me think of the best way to share this. I remember it. Thank you for the comment. Any other comments or questions? Yeah, you can speak if you like. If not, we go forward. Okay, thank you. Let's go forward for the sake of time. Now, next is report of the Secretary General and Treasurer on the period of 2016 to 2020. So, RB, it's your turn.
Yes, Barbaros, can you share? So I would like to welcome IGU EC members, chair and representative of the National Committee, chair or representative of the commissions and task force, and fellow geographers, linked with our YouTube platform today to our General Assembly meeting. Next one. One thing I would like to explain, colleagues, that maybe there will be duplication, but I will explain in a different way. In executive committee meeting, just I would like to supplement, because you know already President has highlighted several meetings. I would like to supplement that during Congress and regional conference time, we generally used to do 3 meetings in a year. Otherwise, generally, we do 2 meetings. In this context, what I would like to propose here, that considering the good positive outcome of these virtuals and online meeting, I would like to suggest that in future, we'll have at least 1 meeting through the online, so that we can save a lot of money, and that money can be used for various activities of and linkages to be developed with the geographers from the south. Next one. Yeah, EC election for the 2018 to 22, I would like to highlight. Current already highlighted by our president, but you know, Professor Elena, Ayn Hay, academician Boji Phu, they all elected by e-ballot as a vice president during the 2018 and 22. And they resume office at the conclusion of the Quebec Regional Conference in August 2018. Myself also elected same time as a Secretary General and Treasurer. And then I was Vice President, so vacancy created by this, Ruben, joined also through e-ballot, got elected from Spain, Then, we appointed also Professor Mido as assistant to the newly elected Secretary General and Treasurer. And we are very happy to get support from Professor Mido in last 2 years. Next one. So this already you got idea, so just I will skip. Next one. Then, we initiated another very important thing I would like to elaborate. We asked every EC member to submit a report during the EC meeting, summary of activity done during last 5 or 6 months. And it is very difficult to elaborate for our 2016, but I am just elaborating the last year activity just as an example, so you can understand the type of activity we are taking. Our president participated in the several symposium, Gorakhpur, Mahendragarh, Bogor. As a chair of the Committee of Human Dimension of Global Change, Science Council of Japan, he organized open symposium, Earth System and Our Life and issued Human Geoscience from Springer. That is a very important book. Myself also, organize, every year we organize the IGU India conference, and some of our vice president and president Himiyama almost coming regularly to these meetings, and we generate a lot of participants from the neighboring country, and then few people from also Europe and America. As a member of the International Science Council Committee, Urban Health and Wellbeing System Analysis Approach, I participated several meetings in Xiamen, China. And I would like to tell you here that as a response of COVID-19, also we produced a document that was, published by important journal, Citizen Health. Then, I interacted with the several Japanese, UK geographers from University of Bath, Hespa, Indo-Nepal, social scientists meet, Canadian geographer, FAO country director, for celebrating the many UN event, particularly International Mountain Day World Environment Day, World Water Day. Next. So Professor Juice, very actively involving together with the other our European EC member, EU Geo and Euro Geo, and particularly Galway, we had a meeting also, so we all were together. He is also the responsible for our Commission Excellent Award, and also the compiling the IGU Travel Grant Award. This is a very, very important work, done by Jews. And I would like to tell you this, we asked from Commission Chair this 2-page report, and all, examined by Jews. So I would like to express my sincere thanks to her for a great work, supporting, and maybe in future also we'll take her help. And hey, collaborating with Dan Malkinson and Chiara for, developing a new commission, IGU Commission on Research Methodology, supported development of bid for host IGU Congress, and you all approved for that. He also prepared a lot of 3 years a strategic timetable. That is also great work, for elaborating IGU engagement with International Science Council, UN, and other international bodies. As a representative, he opening ceremony of the panel discussion entailing supporting geographical, perspective from association in the second International Congress on Geographical Education in 2019. Next one. So Ruben, he has been traveling to the lot of Latin America and all, mobilizing the, national country to join our IGU member. He also attend to meeting of the Puerto Rico in Antigua, Guatemala, to participate in CLAG, Congress of Latin American Geographers, within the framework of AAG. Professor Mike Mijo, compile and finalize minutes of the Istanbul EC meeting, maintain IGU account, facilitate forward payments of all invoice received, including commission grant, provided ad hoc support to Secretary General, myself, and continued to maintain accuracy of Commission Task Force and National Committee membership contact details of file website. Apart from that, he also has been traveling to and interacting with a lot of Chinese geographers. Next. Professor Vladimir Kolosov doing a lot of work with our CHIPS activity, particularly humanity-oriented, a very important organization. And then he's looking after a very important IGU centennial publication, actively involved in the IGU as a chair of the task force also, and he's coordinating activity together with a few European scholars. Elena participation as a special guest keynote speaker to the annual conference in local regional development, followed thematic, she organized also to be organized, LICE 2020 as a head of the scientific committee, and also finding a chair and thus a board of the future Ocean Commission. That is also important work. Next one. Professor Nathali participated in the commemorative symposium of centenary of the Union's ISC meeting also, and collaborated with the IGU Festival of Geography, and she is also looking after very important work, Night of Geography, Geo Night, and she is the, I think, the co-organizer of Paris 2022. You all are going to hear her in coming just after a few minutes. Professor Barbaros, great work as a hosting IGC 2021, and again, after postponement, a lot of work for him, but he is able to mobilize more than 2,000, I think, abstract from all over the world. That is a great thing. And also IGU, Istanbul country, he is also looking after. Busy in arranging infrastructure and logistic support for the IGC Istanbul 2021. And also he is very nicely, help us to present our all PowerPoint during the EC meeting, and also, during General Assembly, he is also doing. Academician Boji Fu delivered keynote lecture several places in Beijing, also in Jian, also China Conference in Geography, Beijing 19, also in Frontier Science Conference in 2019. Apart from that, he also got recently the Fellow of the Royal Geographical Society UK, and he also published few papers during the COVID-19. Next one. Dear colleague, I would like to, apart from these activities, every vice president, they are having some liaising with the few commissions, already. So you can see like first INHA, applied geography, myself with the biogeography, biodiversity. So you can understand, and these tables already available with you also. So this type of work also our EC member used to do. Next one. Then apart from the liaising with the commission and task force, we also used to do the liaising with the different national committee. So like you see Albania, our this BG, Algeria, and Armenia, Australia, all different our colleagues used to do this. We have written the short names. So the first one is Barbaros 2, then other you can understand these are the short names given. Next. So these other country you can see here, like Elena for the Ghana, Greece. Next one. So again, you can see this all Serbia. So all vice presidents are attached with the one or the another, few country. And time to time we used to write, you like to, pursue them to participate in different activity. Next one. So one another important thing necessitated because of the merger of the IGU and ISSC already highlighted by the president. So we had to change in IGU, and it is already available on IGU website. And in place of IGU and ISSC, we are keeping ISC, International Science Council. Next one. New commission during the last 4 years, we have established the new commission, Agricultural Geography and Land Engineering. Then new commission on Geography of Future Earth, Commission of Global Understanding, Research Methodology in Geography, Mountain Studies. So you can see on the very emerging areas of science, how geography can help in promoting global and challenges for social implication, and how geography education can respond to the other, different global and national initiative. So these are the outcome of the challenges, and we are putting geography so that we can develop resilient science for societal implication in the emerging areas of sciences like SDG, DRR, and so on. IGU EC in Quebec, Canada approved the establishment of a new committee on African studies. Next one. So country joined IGU as a member in last 4 years. This Oman, Bolivia, Ecuador, Luxembourg, Venezuela. Then in Macau in 2016. Then 17 in Samoa, China, Macau joined the same 17. And Namibia more recently. And with your approval, 2 more like Colombia as associate member, and then Dominican Republic as a full member. Next one. Then we have a new initiative commission excellent award, and 2019 biogeography and biodiversity, 18 urban challenges in complex world, 2017 region major and global.
Düştü mü?
Yeah. So, Barbaros can say.
I couldn't hear exactly you.
Share the file. I am not able to see.
Yeah, we can see the PowerPoint. Please go ahead.
PowerPoint.
It's open. It's open, Arby.
Open?
Yes. Ekranı açık bunun.
I am not able to see PowerPoint.
It is open, Arby, now. Nasıl gözüküyor durumu? It is possible to problem from your connection, Arby.
Oh, just a minute. Just.
Can you see now?
No.
Düştüm şu anda. Sunumu onun yapması lazım. IGU, I think he's dropped. Yeah,
sorry. I wonder if Mike has something to say here.
He's also co-host. He can share.
Yeah, thank you for that. I can come in with the financial report quickly while RB gets that sorted. Can you share my screen back?
You share now.
I'm going to share again. No, sorry. Here.
So these are the tourism major 2015 May. Next one. Next.
This is next one. I think there's a problem for the connection. Is it possible
Relationship with other organizations. Like I attended World Cultural Forum, IGU joined International Council for Philosophy and Sciences. Several IGU executive members attended UDO, Brussels, Belgium, and we are also developing a program already highlighted by the President in National Science Council, Co-Data General Assembly. I attended the June UNGIM, myself and President also attended the online meeting, and ISC GEO Union meeting, also particularly risk on disaster management. I am the member. Next one. International Geographical Congress, and I will skip this, already highlighted by the President. Next. Next one. These are the some of the commission, organize these type of activity. Just as an example, 2017. Next one. 2018 Third Geography Night worldwide and several thematic conference. IGU Commission on African Study, they all organized. Next one. These already highlighted, around 1,300 participants. It was the largest gathering in the history of Canada, particularly focusing on appreciating difference. Next one. 196 session, 1,200 oral presentation, 82 posters, 9 field excursions were organized. During 67% of the participants were from the outside of Canada. Next one. And 23% graduate students. Now I would like to highlight these aspects: encouragement and training to young geographers, and particularly through IGU Young and Early Career Geographers. We have the several activity during the IGU Regional Conference at Quebec, also in Beijing, and then IGU India Conference, where we have also the late Dr. Manju Singh Memorial Young Scientist Best Paper Award. They also organized training program on Google Earth Engine and academic writing workshop at the Panchkula Thematic Conference. One of the colleague of Mike, also came for this writing. Several other commissions like Biogeography and Biodiversity Urban Commission, they also organized the training program for the young geographers. I would also like to invite all our commission chair to have half day or full day training during the Istanbul meeting related to your expertise. Next one. And this is a very important encouragement to young geographers. IGU established travel grant, and during IGU Congress and regional conferences, about 20 to 25 young geographers get travel grant to present their paper. This is a very important initiative, particularly for the people from the south. You know, they are able to come with this partial grant. Next one. Night of Geography and Festival of Geography, two important activity our Vice President Nathali is doing. And these are very, very important for disseminating the ideas of geography in many countries. Next one. Now, I would like to highlight the IGU dissemination activity. IGU bulletin and 5960, for 15 and 16 were circulated during the 2018 Quebec Regional Conference. IGU newsletter, thanks to Professor Giuliano Beleja, and he's also a website also, IGU Home of Geography, and through this he's disseminating. IGU website, my colleague Dr. Pankaj, I would like to also introduce him. Dr. Pankaj is doing, and he also assisting as now becoming the assistant secretary also, and looking after the website. IGU archive, Dr. Bruno Selas is looking after. That is a very great work, and those who are traveling to East Germany, I think they should visit. IGU centennial publication by our colleague, past President Vladimir Kolosov, is a great work. And International Geographical Day, Barbaros, table a proposal of International Day of Geography, and we are discussing. That is a great idea also. Next one. Dear colleague, IGU publication, we have through a Springer Sustainable Development Goal Series, myself, Mike, and chair of the Biogeography Biodiversity Commission, Mull, is looking after this. Then Dr. Mulder is looking at advances in world regional geography. Apart from that, I am looking after also the geographical and environmental sciences. And we are also using the IGU logo. Elgar series, our Vice President Ian Hay is dealing, and he will highlight few minutes, after my presentation also. A Springer series, that is advances, more than, we have 10 volumes, mostly emanated from the IGU commissions. So I am also inviting our all commission chairs and national committee chair for utilize these services. Next one. And you do not have to pay anything. Next one. So this Springer CG Sustainable Development Goal with 5 volumes, and then this IGU also signed contract with Springer with Centennial publication. Expression of interest was also received from MDPI to establish a publishing partnership, and our Vice President Ian Hayes is looking after. Apart from that, many IGU commission currently partners with important publishers like Springer, Elsevier, Taylor, and Francis to publish the journals. Next one. Future collaboration. Just 1-2 more slides, colleague. International Science Council has 3 core projects, and I would like to highlight that Future Earth Initiative, Integrated Research on Disaster Reduction, Urban Health and Well-being, and GeoUnion Committee on Risk and Disaster Management. As you know, our few geographers are also representative in these projects. I would like to invite our commission chairs to collaborate with these programs so that we can innovate the good practices in geography education in to meet aspiration and opportunity for younger generation and particularly people from the South. Similarly, the Sendai framework of disaster risk reduction, particularly, here we should try to develop data-driven interdisciplinarity for resolving digital revolution risk, and core data also we are collaborating with that. And UNGIM particularly looking after the mapping, and every year we submit the report. Apart from that, SDG, and few months back, you remember, I wrote you all for identifying the interactive areas for sustainable development goal. We have to develop the various type of integration, policy integration to, several type of the sectoral integration to, sectional integration, and particularly involvement of young geographers, gender, more and more. It is followed by COP21 and at Paris and Habitat 3 at Kyoto. And geographers need to contribute towards this international initiative through analyzing local, regional, and national pattern of resources, risk reduction, and sustainable development goals using a special decision support system. Next one. And future task, dear colleague, this is our failure. And I do accept that we are late in, bringing out bulletin for 2018-19. So after the General Assembly, we'll try to concentrate on that. Organizing Forum of Geographical Society of the World, linking with the IGU. So I am giving this idea, and all over Geographical Society of the World should have one meeting, maybe online meeting, share our experiences. More steering committee members from the South and Oman. Already we have written to the individual chairs, but I would like to request, taking all our national committee, also the members, they should encourage, younger people, people from the South and Oman, because we are not having enough adequate representation. Encouraging commission and task forces to develop joint activity and projects, that also we are not able to do. I think sometime you used to organize the joint conferences during our Congress or the regional conferences, but we must try to develop some joint project. Next one. And thank you for your patience, but introduction to Dr. Pankaj Kumar, 3 things also we have to complete in this. So first, maybe Dr. Pankaj, are you interested to tell something?
Already you have covered my segment, so thank you very much, Professor.
Okay, so short supplement by Vice President Hay on publication, and then I would like to invite our elected president and on financial report. So, okay. Ian Hay.
Okay, do I have the floor, Yukio? I guess so. Look, hello, I'm Ian Hay. I'm in Adelaide in South Australia. I just want to pick up on a couple of things that Professor Singh has so kindly briefly introduced, and they're publishing and social media initiatives intended to help develop the discipline, which is one of the IGU's ambitions. The first of these is the International Geographical Union's series on contemporary geographies. So this is a book series that's being done in conjunction with Edward Elgar, which is a leading independent academic and professional publisher. They have a very strong focus on the social sciences, and they're based in the United Kingdom and in the United States. And what we're trying to do with this series, which Mike Meadows and I currently edit, and which was all approved by the Executive Committee, is to encourage thought-provoking international perspectives on the diversity of contemporary geography. We launched the series about 2 years ago, and there are 3 books which are about to come out. The first 2 should be out later this year. The first one is on cosmopolitanism. The second one is going to be very timely. It's entitled Geographies of Misinformation. And there's another one on the way called Applications of Big Data in Geography and Planning. And we've also had expressions of interest for ones on environmental problems and issues in Africa, and another one on French-speaking geography of retail trade. Now, we really welcome books from outside the Anglo-American sphere, and although Edward Elgar doesn't publish in languages other than English, they do advertise the foreign language rights of their books, and so they can be published in translation, but the original edition, as for the moment, has to be submitted in French. So we are going to work with them on the idea of translations as a priority issue for the series. So that's one series. The other one that Professor Singh referred to was a relationship of sorts with a publishing house called MDPI, which is Multidisciplinary Digital Publishing Institute. And they specialize in author pays, open access publications, journals and books. And what they want, they approached us to see whether or not we could develop a relationship between IGU and MDPI. And the executive committee considered their approach very carefully. And I sent out, after that consideration, to commissions and to national committees, details of that relationship. And so what we're going to do, we're leaving the commissions to engage with MDPI of their own accord, to either work on books and book series, to launch new journals, or to develop an affiliation with any of the many journals that MDPI already has, which are linked very clearly with the activities of IGU. And some of their titles include journals like Earth, Environments, Geohazards, Quaternary, Smart Cities, Sustainability, and Tourism and Hospitality. So I think there's some strong links. And so if anyone wants to know more about that, I would be more than happy to provide further information and a direct contact with MDPI. The third and last thing that I want to talk about is a new social network initiative. As you will be aware, we already have a website. There is a Facebook account which is associated with IGU. There's a Twitter account, and we now also have a LinkedIn account. And LinkedIn is a social network that focuses on professional networking. We had a site some time ago, but it fell into disrepair, and so it was relaunched a little bit earlier this year. It went from 6 followers when it was when we picked it up. It's now got 265 from around the world. We still have a long way to go till we catch up with the Royal Geographical Society, which has 13,718 subscribers, and the AAG, which has just over 6,000 followers. But at least we do now have a LinkedIn presence. And so again, if anyone wants to know more about that, either have a look at it through the LinkedIn site, or I would be more than happy to provide additional information. And that's it for me, unless there's any questions by chat. Twitter handle, someone wants to know the Twitter handle. Pankaj, I think you might have that.
Oh, Professor Mike can elaborate about the Twitter handle.
We do have a Twitter handle. I don't use Twitter, so
we have on our website. It is there. It is placed there, but I'm not sure from whom it has been connected. Like who is the responsible person to update it time to time.
It was an initiative established by a previous vice president, and I've rather lost the thread on that. But hopefully, in the next while, we'll get up to date with social media a bit better. We also have a Facebook presence, by the way.
Thank you.
So, my financial report.
Fine. So I should share my screen if that's possible, and go there, which is very briefly, because we're running out of time here. That's the numbers. I don't want to talk through that table. It looks rather complicated, but I can just highlight a few issues if this thing will work. That's the income that we've had between 2016 and 2019. You see that it's been relatively stable. It was rather higher in 2017 as a consequence of a grant from IGU, now the International Science Council. In terms of expenses, we have tended to be on the downward trend, particularly in 2019. I think two for that. One, we didn't have a regional conference 2019, and therefore no travel grant expenses, which would have put 20,000 less on that now, and it would more or less be 2020 is likely to be much lower because we've spent virtually nothing on, we spent nothing actually on the executive committee. In terms of growth, have also been something. I've tried to unpack the reasons for this, but it's simply because quite a lot of commissions don't actually claim their annual $1,500 US grant. And for some reason in 2019, even fewer than usual did.
Well, Barbaros, we are already behind time, actually. And
yep. I think he's coming.
Coming? Okay. So RB is also disconnected?
No, I am.
Oh, you are connected.
Yeah. So I think income and expenses already Mike highlighted. And if anybody has a comment, they can give. Otherwise, you can take up the next item. Mr. President.
Yes, I think it's better because we are already behind time.
Yeah, and Mike, again, he will speak, later half, so he can highlight, no problem.
Okay, so let's go forward. The next one is forthcoming meetings. And discussion. Discussion of IGU priorities, Commission initiatives. Sorry, and Bojier.
Yes.
Yes, it's your turn now.
I'm here. Yeah. Okay. It's dear colleagues. I'm Bojier Fu, is the Vice President of the IGU. is also from the Beijing Normal University and is a Chinese academic sciences. I wanted to discuss one of the initiative is the priority for IGU's work. Also discuss is geography can be playing is an important role to fight against COVID-19 and promote geographies for sustainability. Just President is Professor Hamiyama mentioned is the geography is the science for the sustainability. As you know, is COVID-19 has spanned is globally. It's now is the global confirm is the case of the COVID-19 is more than 20 million, and is many people is died from the COVID-19. Also, is the COVID-19 is a greater effect is sustainability development goals. For example, is preventing people will be more after the COVID-19. Also, is people healthcare and is education. Also, is a impact for the economic development. Those is a whole is SDG for the 2030s. So is we should be pay is a more position or is important. Pay more is consider for study is COVID-19 is the impact is SDGs. Also, is geography can use our GIS and big data for analysis is COVID-19 spatial distribution and is time series is the change. In China is particularly for Geography Society of China, we use GIS and big data is a study is a COVID-19 is expanded in China and in the globally. Also, analysis is the relationship is the COVID-19 with environmental factor. For example, is lockdown is the impact for the air pollution and CO2 emission is something like. Also is a social, economic, and media for the transportation for COVID-19. We also use some is a national emergency is a response upon to have delaying is a growth is a limited of the size of the COVID-19 is impending is in China. Also with development is a framework about is we call the 3C is a framework for coordination, classification, and collaboration to fight against is the COVID-19 from the different stakeholders, from the government, central government, local government, from is public people, and is a livelihood, something like. It's also is the COVID-19 will be impacted greatly for the SDGs. We try to reform is the SDG as for post panic errors. For example, for different classification, different goals, also different stakeholders is the drones. I think is geography can be play is an important roles for the sustainability from the geography process, from the biophysics and the human economics. Also link for ecosystem services and human well-being and human environment interaction. We can establish some modeling and decision with linking with the decision makers promote is the sustainability. So this year is we launch is a new journal for geography and sustainability, which is a support by the IGU Commission of the Future Earth. Now we publish if the 3 is the issue. This is the open access is the journal. Publish is the air service. You can check in the public host in is a journals. I place is submit. It's your manuscript and make your active contribution to the sustainability to this is the journal. Also is thank you very much for your attention. Thank you. This is my point. Thanks.
Okay, any comments or suggestions about this? If not, I want to make this open, and anybody can speak. If you want to, you show me your interest. If there is not, I wonder if Professor Kraft Thomas is there. No. Otherwise, anybody who want to speak about the commission activities or the programs about the COVID-19 or any other geographical issues?
Mike is here now.
Yeah.
Mike is back?
I am.
Yes.
My apologies. South Africa is enduring load shedding at the moment. Our electricity supply is very intermittent, and it may be cause the problem. So I apologize for that. I'll be very brief because I know we really are now falling behind time. Just to say, if you can share my screen again.
You can share, yes.
I don't appear to be able to do it from here anymore. It tells me that screens, okay, it is now. Fine. So let's lose that, and you should be able to see there, that's where we were. The grants, and minimize that. Okay, so in terms of grants, we had something of a decline, and I suggested that this was partly due to the fact that commission chairs had not claimed as much as in previous years. But also remember that for 2016 and 2017, we were putting, I think, 15,000 euros into IGU, and that particular project has now been completed from the financial perspective. I just wanted to show you that we're keeping a lid on the expenses of the executive committee. 2020 is likely to be very close to zero expenses because of the enforcement due to lockdown and international travel, etc. So we've certainly been able to save some IGU money there. But I think probably the most useful thing would be to look at the overall picture of where we stand currently. These are the amounts on the left-hand side there in South African rand. It probably won't mean terribly much to you. But if we look at the amounts in US dollars, the current account is a very small market link account, pretty much irrelevant. And the money market account, which earns a little bit of extra interest, we sit on about 188,000 US dollars already at the moment, I should say. When I inherited the Treasury in, I think, 2010, that number was very similar. So we've kept the boat pretty steady. We've probably made in the last year or two a little bit of a surplus over and above expenses, and that might leave us some opportunities for perhaps some special projects going forward for the next 4 years. We'll talk about those, of course, in due course. Just one other thing, and that is what you might call the endowment of the IGU. It's called the Promotion and Solidarity Fund. It was for many years kept in the United States by under the curatorship of Ron Abler, previous president and indeed Secretary General. We in 2016 had an amount of $71,000 plus minus dollars. That's grown in the last 4 years. We sit now with about $100,000. That account is now curated, in fact, in Japan. So all in all, the financial situation is pretty stable. I anticipate because of the enforcements of 2020 that we'll be a little stronger still by the end of this year. That's all I really want to say, actually, about the issue. That's the situation I've just described.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Now, let's come back to the discussions. And are there anybody who want to say something?
Vladimir sent message to say something about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please, Vladimir.
Dear friends and colleagues, the renewal of the Executive Committee and the election of the new president is an excellent occasion to set new ambitious medium-term targets for the IGU. The Executive Committee has many traditional, important and necessary areas of activity in which new high standards are constantly being developed, but which are, however, familiar and routine in nature. However, there are strategic tasks. About 5 years ago, the Executive Committee adopted the strategy of the IGU, but it already needs updating and concretization. The first thing we have to do is to create new or perhaps reinvigorate existing flagship projects that would integrate an increasing number of commissions, such as the International Year of Global Understanding or our Sustainable Cities, URSUS, in the past. And here I would like to support Professor Bourgeois and to coordinate our studies in the field of the pandemic, because it depends on a great number of factors such as weather, climatic, seasonal, environmental conditions, medical and biological background, natural fortune of diseases, pathways of virus carriers, population mobility, configuration and regime of state boundaries, speed and adequacy of the reaction of central and local authorities. So we need perhaps to organize a representative conference and to launch some projects in this field. And it's a field which really combines nature and society. And new joint interdisciplinary projects could be implemented in coordination with the super program Future Earth. We abandoned a little our cooperation with this super program, which is now undergoing, by the way, a period of important reforms. And we need to continue the recently launched activities to transform the Night of Geography into a truly international event based on the best practices, and develop to propose a proposal to establish the International Day of Geography. It could considerably increase the international visibility of our discipline. So I sincerely wish the updated Executive Committee good luck and success in all matters. Thank you.
Okay, so any other people?
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I would like to highlight in this respect the activities of the Olympiad, the Geography Olympiad. We are very happy that the task force, IGU task force, is able to organize every year, this not just once in 2 years, but every year an Olympiad. In 2016 in Beijing, in 2017 in Belgrade, Serbia, in 2018 in Quebec, and 2019 in Hong Kong, and unfortunately not this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. They succeeded in increasing the number of countries. So the last years we had the participation of between 45 and 50 participating countries. And the countries are representing more parts of the world. So not only Asia and European countries, but more and more countries from the global south, which is very important for the future of the IGU. So I would like to thank the task force and to make my compliments for their work and the promising future for the next years.
Okay, anybody? If there isn't, I wonder if Ben Varen, if you're here, do you have something to say about the latest development? Benno, can you hear?
Sorry. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, we try to continue the International Year of Global Understanding to transform it into a decade of science and humanities decade of global understanding. And we were in very close contact with the Spanish representation in UNESCO, and we are very optimistic through Lois that we can continue that road. We're having UNESCO behind the project end of 2019, but unfortunately, some key election in UNESCO had an outcome that was totally unexpected, so that Spain couldn't take the lead. Now I'm a member of the World Academy of Art and Science, and the World Academy of Art and Science is cooperating very closely with all UN institutions and organizations, especially UNESCO and the ECOSOC. And these are the two key organizations of UNESCO for all international activities like international years or decades. And I'm very optimistic that we can have a relaunch of the whole idea. And I think the current pandemic situation is showing in extremely radical way how important global understanding of everyone's everyday life in different parts of the world is. I mean, we can emphasize the local and regional specificities in a global perspective, and this would give geography a real strong position in this current debates already mentioned by Vladimir Kolosov and Roger Fu from China about the pandemic engagement of geography. I think the pandemic is showing how much the geographical conditions have changed over the last decades, and how important face-to-face interactions and all these things that are crucial for a geographical understanding of the world are crucial also to master the pandemic constellation. So I'm very optimistic with the support of the World Academy and the European Academy to have a new entrance into international organizations and to relaunch the idea of global understanding, a geographical perspective for the future. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Anybody? Not only the subjects, but if the national representatives or anybody have useful news or ideas. Well, in Quebec, there were so many people who wanted to speak, but on an online meeting, it may not be very easy to do that. And if there isn't, nobody? Okay, so it's we'd better go forward then to use time for that. Forthcoming meetings. The first is Turkey, so it's Barbaros.
Yes, I would like to share the screen. A small presentation with you. First of all, I would like to say it's the new.
Sorry, we can't hear well. The volume is too low.
Can you hear me now?
A little.
A little.
Something's wrong.
How about now?
A little better.
I try to speak a little bit
Getting
loudly.
better.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, I would like to say that it's a new and the first experiment for the virtual General Assembly for IGU. This is the first time, you know, and please accept of our excuse for some infrastructural mistakes from us as a host. So. As you know, because of the pandemic, we have to cancel to the postpone to the Congress to the next year. And as you see in the slides, and the 2nd April, we decided to do this postponement with the local organizing committee and also discuss with the EC, IGU EC members. And we announced sent a bulletin to the new dates for the IGC 2021 for the next year, and we again open a session proposal because of or interested or related with the COVID-19 geography and COVID-19 for only this subject, and new sessions titled for the COVID-19 sessions is opened, and it's you can reach from the web page, Congress web page also these sessions if you send to them, if our colleagues send to the abstract to the system. And the abstract submission is still open and will open and the second until the 11th January next year. Until the last March or around to the beginning of this year, we accepted the 2,000 more than 2,250 abstracts, and we approved most of them. And as you see to the screen, to see the oral abstracts and the poster abstracts numbers, as you see, and still it's online in its system. We will give back the registration fee if you want to leave, if you want to somebody don't want to come the next year, but the registration actually still open. I would like to say that for the new important dates for the submissions, as you see, and we announced several times, and we will announce again in the next days and next months. As you see, that the deadline for the abstract paper is 11th January 2021, and you see the other dates. I don't want to read on the screen, and it's same is about same schedule like these years. It will be organized the next year, as you see them, between 16 and 20 August 2021 in same venue, in same place in Istanbul University. And it's possible to visit the web page for the Congress, as you see them. It is the same web page again, and we took a new another one web name, but it's same web page. I have to say, you can use it 2022, 2020, or 2021. Doesn't matter. It's the same web page. And I would like to add about some words for the Geography Olympiad. I am also the head of the local organizing committee for the Geo Olympiad. I joined some Olympiads in the different countries. We give so important importance to the Olympiad also. Until the March, this year March, about 50 countries sent their proposals for the joining the IGU, Geography Olympiad, but we postponed to Geography Olympiad next year, also like the IGC, and it will be starting about a week before the Congress, and it's going to be organized in between 10 and 16 August 2021 in same place, in same venue. It's open again, and we contact the countries actually also. It's going on. Yes, short brief is this, Yukio. If there's some questions, I will be happy to answer.
Yeah, any questions or comments?
There is one in the chat box for the Barbaros.
Yes, the last one, I think. Do people need a? No, if the people submitted their papers and other things, there is no any need for the resubmit. We all the carry on to the next year the all submissions. There is no need.
Anybody else? So, Barbaros, what is the situation of the university and the schools now?
For today, you mean?
In Istanbul or around?
Still, we are in holiday. The holiday period is going on. Most universities, Istanbul has a more than 50 university actually located in more than 50 university in all of. If you look at all the universities in Turkey, more than 200. It's more than 50 universities in Istanbul, and there today's they waited the opening between beginning of the September and beginning of the October, but still is a holiday period. But I couldn't say anything. What could be going on about the COVID-19 process, but we are preparing the infrastructure, preparing for the opening the face-to-face education. But it's if it's going to be worst, we can find it in other ways.
So
but
before
today,
the summer holiday,
this is
you had
holiday. Yeah. Now still we are in a holiday period.
So before holiday, you could the university was open, and other schools were
open for us, but not for the students. We did a distance learning system for 2 months.
2 months.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in April and May, we did a distance learning period.
So any other questions, comments? Okay, so can I ask then, Natalie?
Yes, thank you, Yukio. Thanks to introduce me. Barbaros, can I share my screen of laptop?
Yes, you are also co-host, Natalie.
Okay, it just how I can pick it.
You choose a screen share screen. Sorry.
Yes.
And you see the screen. Yeah. Find your yes.
It's okay. Okay.
Yes, we are seeing you.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone from Normandy in France. And as you heard, I'm the co-chair of Paris 2022 team. And the Congress is organizing by the French National Committee of Geography. In a few minutes, I would like to give you some news about the exceptional Congress for the centennial of IGU. The The Congress will take place in Paris in very important and symbolic places for geographers, as La Sorbonne, and inside it, the Institute of Geography, where Emmanuel de Marton are taught. And Emmanuel de Marton was one of the founders of IGU, third Secretary General, and then President after. Another location is the site of La Société de Géographie. And you could see in the middle of the slide below with the earth in the front of the building. And it's near La Sorbonne in the Latin Quarter. And there we'll organize a year of geography in collaboration with La Société de Géographie, which celebrate its 200th anniversary. We decided to organize a year of geography, which will begin in 2021 in December with the 200th anniversary of La Société de Géographie. And after that, IGU Centennial in July in La Sorbonne, in La Société de Géographie. And it's a way also to improve the visibility of geography in France and around these events. And after that also in October with the Festival de Géographie, we closed the year of geography. And the major event will be the IGU Congress. Sorry, and we also have a partnership with the National Library of France to organize an exhibition during the Congress, exploring the world in the 19th century with the Maps and Plans department. During this exhibition, it's really organized for the geographers of the Congress could go here and see the exhibition. And also we discuss about a lecturer in the National Library of France during the Congress, and also to see the exhibition. And also we discuss with the National Library of France to have some field trips with people of library, and also to visit the department of maps and plans in another seat of the National Library of France, Richelieu Library, a very old also part of the National Library of France. During last month, with an international team, we discuss and begin to check for transportation, hosteling, and social program. But as you know, with the pandemic, some part of hosteling, for example, became difficult. But we are doing our best for that, and also for other logistic part and website too. With the pandemic, as you know, and as you see for you too, many things are concerned. Many companies are some difficulties, and it's the same for the company which we work. But we are doing to the best for the exceptional Congress. And we think about the program, and we will have lecturers by leading scientists, geographers, but also from another science, closed geography. We discuss with some colleagues from French Academy who want to work with us, and we are very, very interesting to participate in some of way with the Congress. And also we will have interdisciplinary roundtables with sustainability or education issues with geographers from all the world, but also with another sister association, international association. Sorry, we also wish organize Café Géographique, geographical cafe, with PhD students. We think about that, especially for a PhD student from all the world, and because we think it will be another way to discuss their research in another context, and also in English, French, but also in Spanish and possibly other languages. And we hope we are working to organize this in the International City University of Paris. This is a very big and very wonderful, great site for international relation, international meetings, and especially for young geographer, I think. And we also think to organize special session. Special session will be, for example, geography and diplomacy in the 19th century, or geography and global climate change, and also a special session on publishing and on academics journal, on or slow science, for example, because there are also major issues for scientific world. And we don't forget field trip in Paris, in the suburbs. Sorry. Oh, I lost a slide. Okay, sorry. Suburb field trip in Paris, in the suburbs, and also in regions. For example, Normandy, but also in Rhine region. And it depends also the colleagues which we work. And I hope to see you, to see many of you in Paris in 2022, to live together this great moment, the beginning of a new centennial of IGU, and to share this historical moment. And now I leave the place to Professor Vladimir Kolosov, speaking about a special also symbol of this event for book on IGU. Professor Vladimir, Special Counsel of Paris 2022. The place to Vladimir. Thank you very much, and I attend your question if you have after that.
Dear colleagues, a few years ago, we decided to publish a special volume on the occasion of IGU centennial, not only on the role of IGU in the development of geography, but especially on a more general problem of internationalization of science, of geography, on the role of international cooperation, on the change of paradigms in our discipline. I would like to profit of this occasion for cordially thanking all leading human and physical geographers who accepted to contribute. Their selection was not an easy task, because our idea was to combine the contributions of both human and physical geographers, the geographer from the north and the south. We succeeded in it to a different extent, but we did our best. This book will consider the history and present condition of geography as an international science, and it will include a historical part, of course, based on archival data. Our archives are professionally processed and kept at the Institute for Regional Studies in Leipzig, Germany, on different forms of internationalization, on what we call geopolitics of international geographic collaboration, on the collisions between geographers from different parts of the world. Thanks to God, IGU was not, we all has always avoided politicization. sometimes it was not easy. This book also includes a part on the relation and cooperation between the geographers and neighboring disciplines, natural and social disciplines. And also what is very important, it concludes with a view of very well-known geographer from the prospects of our discipline as a real 21st century international science. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Vladimir, Natalie. Any questions? Anybody? Okay. If there is no, may I ask me?
Great.
It's your turn.
Thank you, Professor Himeyama. Thank you, everybody. I'm just going to share my screen with you. Okay. Hopefully everybody can see that now. So first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity to present the IGC 2024, which hopefully, all going well, will be held in Dublin, Ireland in August 2024. And we've begun our initial preparations in terms of creating a visual identity for the conference. We have our dates established, and the conference is being organised by the Geographical Society of Ireland with the cooperation of a large number of other organisations. So just for those of you who don't know where Dublin is, I've marked Istanbul in on the map, but Ireland is quite a small country in comparison to many of the others represented here on the west coast of Europe. And the conference will be held in the capital city of Dublin in 2024 at Dublin City University. Despite our remoteness, or at least how it looks remote on that map, Dublin is a very easy place to get to, or at least it has been until the recent lockdown. So we hope that that will resolve itself over the next couple of years. But it's easily accessible from all over the world with many direct routes from across Europe. It's well connected to hubs like London, Amsterdam, Paris, and Frankfurt. But also there are good hub connections from places like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and so on. And we have direct flights to China now for the first time. It's relatively easy to get to. There are a range of different airlines, and there are no travel restrictions for citizens from the UK and the EU. And there are over 50 countries around the world where you do not need a visa to travel to Ireland for tourist purposes. The airport is easily accessible to our proposed conference venue and also to the city centre, so it should provide very few difficulties for delegates when they arrive. In terms of our programme theme, the theme that we have agreed with the IGU Executive Committee is celebrating a world of difference. And our proposal is to celebrate the central role of geography, building on the themes for the 2020-2021 Istanbul conference and building on the theme of Paris 2022, to celebrate the central role of geography as a connecting discipline between the natural sciences, humanities, and social sciences, to celebrate how geography can value and develop intercultural awareness and understanding, how it's a central discipline for promoting intellectual diversity, but also bringing that diversity together, and how geography encourages us to identify and embrace the different connections between people, place, and the natural world. So what we're intending to do is to turn the conference into a celebration of geography, not just at the conference venue, but across the city of Dublin, across the country by having events pre and post conference in other parts of the country, and across the globe by connecting us all. And depending on how the pandemic situation pans out, we may try and think about ways of bringing people in remotely as well to participate in the conference if for whatever reason they can't travel. We're very lucky to have the support and the collaboration of the Royal Geographical Society in the UK, and also the Regional Studies Association, which, although based in the UK, has regional divisions right across the globe. The venue for the conference will be the Helix, which is a theatre venue located on the Dublin City University campus. And this will be the hub of the conference, and we'll be using many other buildings on the campus as well. So this means that we can ensure that the Congress is in one location. The good thing about the venue of this university is that it's equidistant between the airport and the main thoroughfare of the city in O'Connell Street. So it's about 5 kilometers each way to each of those. And we'll run a dedicated bus shuttle throughout the Congress to enable easy access to the city centre. We'll have a range of accommodation to suit all budget types, and we've block booked over 1,000 rooms on campus so people can stay on campus if they wish to. And for those who do that, there are a range of facilities there, including shops, restaurants, bars, and leisure amenities, which will be open to the delegates attending the conference and staying on campus. Dublin is easily accessible. Once you're here, it's easy to get to, but it's also very easy to get around by public transport, whether that's bus, whether it's light rail, by taxis, and increasingly through the Dublin Bike Scheme. And over the last couple of months, the City Council have really invested in enhanced bike infrastructure across the city in response to the pandemic. So that's one good thing that has come out of the recent months. It's also a very compact city. So it's really easy to get around on foot as well. In terms of our proposed programme of events, as I said, the Royal Geographical Society are collaborating with us, so we do intend to host joint workshops, field trips and events with them. The Regional Studies Association and other organisations have committed to having some high-profile events during the conference programme. The International Network for Learning and Teaching will run a workshop during the programme, and a range of other networks will do similarly. We want to actively engage early with the Commission chairs to organise cross-Commission sessions, and my colleagues throughout the different university departments across the country have committed to working with Commission chairs if they want to organise their own Commission events before or after the conference in Dublin or in other parts of Ireland. And also, I suppose, just to pick up on the comments earlier about the Olympiad, we have been in touch with Sue Lomas and Sue Min Shen about the Geography Olympiad in 2024. And Dr. Susan Pike, who works at DCU, is actually Vice President of the Geographical Association at the moment and happens to know Sue Lomas very well. So they have already begun talking about and trying to plan what they might need to do for the Olympiad in 2024. So there's lots to do in Ireland for those of you who've never been. These are just some sample landscapes and sample things that we might encourage people to go and see and do as part of the scientific excursions. There's also plenty of visitor attractions if accompanying persons are with you and they wish to spend a little bit of time exploring Dublin. A range of activities from historic heritage through to designer, artisan, craft shopping. And of course, there's lots of excellent restaurants throughout the city as well. Lots to do in Ireland. The advantage of being a small island is that it's relatively easy to get around and see a lot in a short time. So during the Congress, we will organise day trips to some of these locations, but also if people want to build a holiday on either end of the conference, there's plenty to do relatively easily right across the country. So we look forward to welcoming you, hopefully all to Dublin in August 2024. We have the initial skeleton of our website up and running. So if you want to keep up to date with the updates, you'll be able to do that on the website there. So that's igc2024dublin.org. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ni. Are there any questions? No? If so, may I ask Jan about 2028 Australia?
Thank you very much, and President, Secretary General, and colleagues of the IGU. It's a great pleasure to speak to you about the Melbourne Congress in 2028. The first time I've had an opportunity to do that in pseudo person. So thanks for that. So I'll just share my screen if I could. Well, I think can I do that?
No, I didn't know that I have to give you to your co-host, Ian.
Oh.
If you wait a little bit, I didn't know that this presentation.
Oh, okay, no worries. I can just.
I try.
See, here you go. Otherwise, I can just speak to it.
You can start going on speaking, and I will
Thank you.
add you. Okay.
Yeah. So we're talking about Melbourne in 2028, which is 2,872 days away, and we're holding it in July, the first week in July actually, and I can talk to you about why that's the date, and we'll why Melbourne? Well, you'll be hosted by the University of Melbourne, which is my university, and the Institute of Australian Geographers, the host. But we also have a lot of support from all of the universities across Australia, including and from New Zealand, the New Zealand Geographical Society as well. And it's good to see Mike Roche here. Our
sorry, Ian, you can share. Sorry,
I can share now. Thank you.
Yes, you can share now.
Mike's been a great assistance in developing this. Good. So there's the Congress in Melbourne. The theme of the Congress is making geographical connections. Your hosts will be the Institute of Australian Geographers and the School of Geography at the University of Melbourne. We can just see the whole city of Melbourne here, and you can see that the university is just to the north of the city. The Congress itself is on the Yarra River, which we'll see in a moment, in the CBD itself. The other reason why we're keen to hold the 2028 Congress in Australia is because it's been 40 years since the IGC was held in the Southern Hemisphere. That was in the Australian Bicentennial in Sydney in 1988. So we're very honoured to have it 40 years later again in Melbourne. And it's also the 70th anniversary of the founding of the Institute of Australian Geographers. So a very auspicious year for us to hold the conference. It'll be held in the Melbourne Convention Centre. So that's the location of this convention centre, which is a pretty new facility right in the heart of Melbourne. We're actually on the Yarra River there, and the city itself is just upstream of us to your left, and the bay is to the right. The venue itself is large. It can hold about 5,500 people, and we've got plenty of space for the Congress. It's a long way to Australia, and so I would imagine people are concerned about the cost of running this Congress. It's not a local area like Dublin, Neve, nice and close. So we've managed to secure so far $575,000 in sponsorship for the conference, and we're very keen to use that to support PhD students and academics and colleagues from less developed countries to come. That's the purpose of that money. The registration, we hope, is reasonable. 650 Australian dollars, 400 euros would be the early participant price. So I think it's a pretty affordable for a big city. Accommodation is another issue in a big city, and of course, like Dublin, we've got 12,000 hotel rooms, thousands of apartments, and Airbnb listings are very economical. And also, like Dublin, we've managed to book about 1,000 rooms at the residential colleges at the University of Melbourne, which is just up the road from the a short tram trip for the conference. And they're about $90 or $63 US a night with food. So we think that'll be really important for people who are coming a long way to visit Melbourne. We've got lots of field trips. I won't talk too much about the program because it's still a long way off, but we've got field trips to the Great Barrier Reef, if it's still there, I hope. It's yeah, that's another story. We've got trips to New Zealand, local trips in southeastern Australia to the Murray-Darling Basin, Tasmania, also to the Pacific, Fiji, East Timor, and Western Australia. So lots of locations for field trips. We're very keen that having it in July, that it's the holiday period in the Northern Hemisphere, so that people will come to Australia and be able to stay and be able to enjoy some holidays in the south to make it worth a long trip. Thanks to the international committee who have committed so far to managing it. Some of these colleagues are with us tonight or today for many of us. So that's all I had to say about the Congress, because it's still a fair way off, but we look forward to welcoming you to Melbourne in just 2,878 days. And it's a great privilege to offer this conference, and thank you for selecting Melbourne for that Congress. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Yes, it's 80 years, but it's amazing that you are so well organized and well prepared. Yeah.
Well, we're also hoping that some more infrastructure will be built by then. Maybe we can a railway out to the airport and some of the facilities that Dublin has.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Shall we go to the next? Now, this is votes of thanks to outgoing executive committee members. Elena?
I'm mute. Elena Delagnese from Italy, and I have the honor to present the thanks from the IGU to two people who have formed two pillars of it in the last year. And that on the occasion of this General Assembly, will lead the Executive Committee. There are Professor Jos Troclever-Fortuyn and Vladimir Kolosov. Jos has been a member of the Steering Committee of the Gender Commission from 1992 to 2000. Then she was the Commission Chair from 2000 to 2004. And then from 2012 to 2020, she was Vice President. She was the first Vice President from 2016 to 2020. In between, she was also the webmaster of the Gender Commission. She has been playing a key role in managing important activities of the IGU, in managing the monitoring of the activities of the Commission, young people and early career researcher, and she promoted the participation of an ever-increasing number of women and researchers from the Global South. I really thank Jos for her competence, inclusive attitude, dedication, and work. And I really hope that she will be always an IGU person, always involved in the activities of the IGU. Vladimir Kolosov has been 30 years long in the service of the IGU, and he was a member of the Commission on the World Political Map, that was the name of the Commission from 1991 to 1997. And the 1996, was actually the moment when I met him in a Congress of the IGU. From 1996 to 2004, he was chair of the commission that was renamed in 2000 Commission on Political Geography. Then from 2006 to 2012, he was a vice president and first vice president. He was president from 2012 to 2016, and from 2016 to 2020, past president. Vladimir has been, really a pillar of the board of the AC, because he had a very big knowledge of everything about the IGU, the statute, and how things was going to be managed, and he was really a fundamental person. So you see, he's now still involved in activities. He was presenting the big project about the history of the IGU that is going to be presented in the Paris Congress. Jos and Vladimir are two dear friends of mine, two special people, and they will never be away from the IGU. They always involved in big projects. So thanks again, and thanks from the IGU, and we will see you soon. Ciao.
Thank you, Elena. And thank you very much, Vladimir and Jos, for your enormous contribution to IGU. And I'm sure that we have to rely on you from now on as well. You have very big tasks still, but so far, thank you very much indeed. And Vladimir, can you say something?
Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Elena for these farewell words. I wouldn't like to say goodbye. See you soon again. Different meetings, in participating in different projects, and as Elena said, I will always remain an IGU person. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Jos, please. Unmute, please. Jos, I can't hear.
No. I would like to thank Elena for her very kind words. And I would like to say that I am privileged and very much pleased with the time that I spent on IGU. And I'm very pleased that I can continue to serve IGU in the Honors and Awards Committee. That will be a great pleasure for the next few years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, shall we go next? It's comments by the president-elect and the vice president-elect. Mike?
Thank you, Yukio. Well, greetings firstly from Cape Town, where it is a very beautiful day in the middle of winter, but nevertheless, the sun is shining, and I'm delighted to see you all, albeit in this rather uncomfortable format. I firstly want to thank the national committees for the faith they've shown me, in allowing me to take over this, I think, very important role for international geography. It's a discipline that I know I speak to the choir here. We're all committed to it. We all love our discipline, but I believe it's an increasingly important one, and I'm sure we've heard that before, but I do believe it in this pandemic era and in the post-pandemic era, we hopefully have one to come, that the role of the discipline will, I think the profile of the discipline will continue to grow. And I think it's the IGU's task to make sure that that happens. I don't want to spend any time here really setting out the plans in any sort of detail. I don't think this is the appropriate forum. We've got work ahead for us to do. The new executive committee that you've been introduced to, and one or two new members will make short presentations shortly. But I think it's important that we try to grow further the discipline over the next few years, and also to grow the footprint of the discipline. There's been extraordinary work done by both Natalie, in particular, Natalie and Ruben, in growing our footprint in the Francophone community of geographers and in Latin America, through the fact that they speak respectively French and Spanish. And this has, I think, enabled us, I hope at least, to become more international and more accessible over the next few years. It's certainly an initiative that's been started by them. I would, because I'm from Cape Town, I would like to think we could continue to grow our footprint in Africa, and we welcomed a new member today from Namibia, and I hope that that will continue. I'd like to think we can improve the effectiveness of the commissions. We heard from Jos that many are doing extraordinary work, and I'd like the profile of those over the next 4 years to continue to be more effective. I hope, and I think there's ample evidence from what we've seen in the last few minutes, that we'll continue to have high profile and very high quality events, and that there are certainly some wonderful indications for going forward for Istanbul, Paris, for Dublin, and for Melbourne. And thank you to those presenters for highlighting those initiatives. I do wonder, given the fact that we have the centennial coming up, if we shouldn't, as an IGU, be thinking about some new initiatives. We start another 100 years worth of existence during my term of office, and perhaps the financial situation, which seems to be very stable at the moment, but gives us an opportunity maybe to think a little bit out of the box about what we could do in that regard. I would also like to focus on communication. It's been very difficult today, and you will have all noticed that my own connection went down precisely at the time at which I was needing to talk about the finances. How ironic is that? This is not a great format, I don't think, to hold a General Assembly, but it's been forced upon us, and thank you all for bearing with it over the last few hours. But I hope very much that we'll all be able to meet face to face in the coming year and beyond. But communication goes beyond just meeting with each other. It's also about communicating and exchanging ideas. And so I would really like to try hard in this next 4 years to keep the communication going, in particular between the people who are here, those who are chairs of our commissions and the representatives of the national committees, which really are the heart, actually, of the IGU. It's where the work gets done, and communication needs to be regular and it needs to be professional between all of us in that regard. And then finally, I know we've had a vote of thanks already, but I want to add my own words of thanks in particular to the outgoing vice presidents, to Jos and to Vladimir. I guess it's all been said, but I do want to tell you both in front of this community how incredible it's been for me to interact with you and work with you so closely. In the case of Vladimir, for 12 years, since 2008, and Jos a little shorter, but to have worked with you has been an extraordinary privilege for me. And it's one of the reasons that's kept me involved in the IGU. Yes, it's true, I love geography and the discipline, but to work with people of the quality and caliber and friendliness of you two is really what makes it all worthwhile. So thank you. We'll miss you, not completely, as we know, your work with the IGU continues, but we'll certainly miss you in these executive committee forums. And then to the person that I'm taking over from, to Yukio, thank you for your extraordinary efforts too over the last 4 years and beyond as vice president. Yukio, I'm sure many of you know, is a stickler for detail. His attention to detail is incredible. And even as his first language, of course, is not English, but he very often corrects the minutes. In fact, he always corrects the minutes. He always finds some little nuance that hasn't been quite correctly done. But over and above that, Yukio, your leadership and your vision, particularly, I think, in relation to the IGU profile above us, if you like, through to the other organizations, not just down to our commissions and national chairs, but out to the International Science Council, to the GEO unions, and to those other bodies that I know you've worked incredibly hard to make connections with, and I think successfully so. And fortunately, we won't miss that because, as you all know, the president stays on for 4 more years as past president. So we look forward to 4 more years of you scrutinizing the minutes and to increasing and improving our connections with those international bodies. So that's all I want to say for now. As I said, I hope that we won't have to meet in this same forum for a General Assembly, at least the next time. This time next year, we should all be, I hope, in Istanbul and enjoying each other's company and sharing our ideas as to how we can take this organization forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Holly, please. It's your turn.
Everyone. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hello, everyone. Greetings from Minnesota in the United States. I just essentially want to say hello and thank you. I'm a professor at Macalester in Minnesota, and It is such an honor to be elected to the Executive Committee. I want to thank you for your support. Thank you to the individuals in the committees who supported my nomination. I have been a member of the commission, a member of the steering committee, and the co-chair of the Commission for the Sustainability of Rural Systems. And it is just with a great honor that I am now here at the Executive Committee. I also want to say we have some big shoes to fill with our outgoing members, and I am very much looking forward to making a contribution to the IGU, to supporting all of its goals, and to getting on with all of its important work. So thank you all, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you in person next year.
Thank you. Selena? Can you hear? Selena Rosenblatt? Oh,
Celine, you're mute.
she has gone
Yeah,
somewhere?
can you hear me now?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so thank you very much. It's also a great honor to be elected in the executive committee. Well, I would like to acknowledge all the work that was done the 4 last years at least, but also all the previous years. And it's an honor for me to give my modest contribution according to the experience I have in the Urban Commission. So I am an urban geographer. I live in Switzerland, and well, I would like to contribute to, well, both the flagship of the project flagships of the IGU to improve the implication of national committees and to commission, and of course to support the basic work of the executive committee. I discovered yesterday all the work to do, which is huge, but I am ready to contribute to that in collaboration and working in the team, which is really great. So I am very happy to participate as far as I can from Switzerland, and I really hope that I will be able to contribute. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, we go next. According to the agenda, we have other business, and we have some extra time. So anybody who want to say something to the community? Are there anybody? Everybody is entitled to speak now. Okay, so I want to ask Cosimo Graziano. You have very good experience of the relationship with the United Nations organizations, and I wonder if you say something about it to promote the sort of activities, particularly to bring up the younger generations. You did a very good job, but we all have to consider about our age and have to bring up the young ones.
Thank you, Yukio.
Have any message?
Thank you, Yukio. I do it.
So, that's it? Can you explain a little about your experience in those activities? I don't think IGU has done enough. We have to do more about those, particularly the activities related with the United Nations. What do you think we need to do to promote such activities? Koshimo, can you hear?
Thank you, Yukio. I will do it.
Okay. You did. You wrote very good reports about what you have been doing, and we very much appreciate. Thank you very much indeed. Any other persons who wrote there's something? Okay, Peter. Please unmute. Please unmute. We can't hear.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay.
You hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps we assist you a little bit as regards this question. I think the United Nations group of experts on geographic names is a very important partner also for IGU, because place names are always important for geography, I think. So place names show which perception a certain population, a certain group of people has of the environment, of its place. And therefore, place names and geographic names are always very important for different fields of geography. It's a kind of point of convergence of all the different fields of geography, of physical geography, of cultural, human geography, and everything else. And of course, the United Nations group of experts is an expert body in this respect. It is not only composed of geographers, of course, it has linguists, it has historians, it has geodesists, cultural anthropologists, and so on. But geographers play a very important role. And I think Cosimo and I, we are the two co-chairs of our commission, of the Toponymy Commission. We can contribute a little bit, and I think what we can do is to disseminate knowledge on place names, on the importance of place names in the community of geographers, and also, of course, in the community of cartographers, as we do it, and we will try to do it better than before, perhaps. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other persons? Anybody? Okay, so we close this other business. Now, vote of thanks. Yes, actually, it was not very easy to organize this kind of meeting by using Zoom, but thanks to the enormous contributions from Barbaros, the local organizing committee of the Istanbul IGC, and also Secretariat of IGU, RB Singh and Pankaj Kumar. They did a very good job to organize this meeting. And I think we could do it. We could do it. Maybe if we have another occasion of this kind, we can do much better. But as a first time, as a beginner, I think it's quite good indeed. And I had to add that this online meeting sort of era, there are difficulties, but at the same time, there are opportunities, particularly in relation to the contribution to the international organizations. For example, high-level forum of United Nations. So it was not easy to participate, especially for such not too wealthy organization as IGU. The financial constraint is always a problem. If the meetings are held in New York or in Paris or in those big cities, which are quite expensive indeed. But this online meeting makes it much easier to participate. So I think it gives us, geographers, a very good opportunity to do more things in those international organizations. And I think the function of especially the executive committee is quite important. The function to link inside the IGU community and outside the IGU community. And in the last 4 years, I really felt that if the executive committee has closer ties with the commission's task forces and national committees, and if the commissions and national committees, task forces, in between them have closer ties, we can do much more to contribute to those international activities, such as, say, SDGs and COVID-19. So I think this is a really good start of such sort of era where we have good opportunities indeed. And I'd like to thank all the participants. I don't know how many are listening this now, but I think it's a very big number of people. I'm sure much more than the ordinary General Assembly in on-site General Assemblies. There should be many more people. Again, this is the new opportunity. I thank all those participants, not only those who are visible, but also invisible participants. Thank you very much indeed. And this is time to close this meeting now, but maybe there are more things you want to say from now. Please write to us, Executive Committee people, so that we can make use of those comments. And also, we try our best to respond to these suggestions or comments or questions. In that way, let's work together. Let's go together. I'm closing, I'm leaving the president now, just very time now, and hand it over to Mike Meadows. We have been working for years together, and we'll continue it anyway. And particularly as a past president, as Mike said, there are a lot of things I can do, I think, as past president. I'll do my best. And so see you next year in Istanbul, at least. Perhaps there are more opportunities to meet in between. Okay, I have to say goodbye now. Bye-bye.
And see you next year in Istanbul and next year in Vietnam.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yes, we are waiting to Istanbul.
Thank you very much.
Bye. See you soon, hopefully.
Bye. Thank you, Mr. President, for conducting the session very well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.